Thank you for joining us for the Respecting Perspectives podcast. And I have Mr. Greyson Brown here. Let me tell you something. This guy is an actor. He is a musician. I mean, he's traveled the world, and he's got some really awesome stories and some inspiration to give y'all. And you know what? I'm not even gonna have to say anything right now, man. Why don't you tell them who you are, where you're from, and what you're doing here?
Hey, first of all, I'd like to say thank you for inviting me on this show.
Of course, man. Proud to have you.
Yes, sir. But yeah, like he said, my name is Greyson Brown. Most people just call me G. You can call me Black Cat, call me Bruja, and we'll get into all that stuff later. But yeah, man, I'm just happy to be here, brother.
Yes, dog. Yeah, man. Just a smile on your face, man. I appreciate it, dude. Tell me a little bit about your background. Give me a little bit, kind of where you grew up, and you know how you kind of ended up in this spot in this chair on the podcast.
All right, yeah. So I grew up. Number one, I was born in Germany. My parents were in the military. Born in Wiesbaden, Germany. After that, came to DC area. Grew up around the DMV, so all over Silver Spring, Greenbelt, family in Baltimore, yada yada yada. After that, you know, growing up doing all that stuff around here, I went to school in Philly, Drexel University.
Okay, shouts out Drexel.
Shouts out to Drexel, yeah. But so I played soccer for a little bit, and then after that, after Drexel, man, like came back, traveled all the way around the world. You know, before that, lived in Jamaica for a little bit as well too. Cool. But yeah, then I settled down around here, and yeah, man, just been traveling ever since. Like,
nice.
That's it. You know?
Do you have any particular places that are your favorite? Why don't you highlight some of your travels, man?
Travels, like, so I used to do Olympic developed soccer growing up. So I played on Olympic level. And I've been
that pro.
Shit, them knees don't say that. No more, boy. I'm getting older. But yeah, so I had a chance to go to England, which is cool. Actually met some of my dad's friends in England when I went and traveled there and stayed there, which was actually pretty awesome. They told me a couple stories about him. France, I've also been to Holland, Mexico, Canada, Belize. Just like all over the world, brother. Like, yeah. All of the Caribbean islands, like pretty much all of them I've been there.
Nice.
I had it's nice. Most of them. Some of them,
right.
But I still have. For myself. I still got just one left. I got to do St. Lucia, and Trinidad, and then also Haiti. I guess you know. You got to do that as well.
For sure. Sure. Any particular places that are your favorite, or like any story that
Jamaica?
Hey, Jamaica.
I bleed motherfucking yellow green.
Hell
boy.
Yeah. Hell
yes,
yeah.
Sir.
What is it about Jamaica that you know brings that you know that specialness to it?
You know what? My family's from Jamaica. My dad's side. My dad is 1 of 10.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 1 of 10. Jamaica and England. And what brings that specialness of the Caribbean to me is A, the food, 2, the music, and then just the people. They're the people of the sun. You know what I'm saying? Like literally everybody in the world wants to go to Jamaica in vacation. There's a reason why. It's not just the scenery.
Right.
It's the people that you interact with too, you know what I'm saying? Like, have a great day, you know, One Love, Bob Marley, you think about reggae, you think about everything. We got the music to make you move. We got the fucking food to make you fucking move as well too. So, yeah, man.
Love that. Let's get a little bit into history, all right? I know, you know, you've said that you've lived many different lives. Give me some meat and potatoes as to maybe some of the professions that you've had in the past, and some of the things that you've learned from those.
All right, professions. Oof, this has been a lot. So, you know, growing up, played soccer. That was like an everyday thing, number one. So, like, you're kind of like a mini athlete, especially doing Olympic level, collegiate level. That's one life. Graduating from school, I worked for Estee Lauder.
Oh, cool.
Shout out to all the ladies, pretty ladies.
Hey, pretty ladies out there.
Fucking makeup, yada, yada, yada. So I worked for them, and I ran one of their techs. What's the word? Where I ran a plant for them, Bristol, PA.
Okay.
Their North Tech division. So basically what it was getting stuff from Japan, to New York, getting stuff from New York to France, all the products, yada, yada, yada. So I did that for a while. After that, I ended up working for a portable diagnostic company called Mobile Medical Imaging, which was cool. And also brought me back to family as well, too.
How so?
How so? Because one of the owners was a family member of mine. So getting to know him, see how he interacted, what was going on, employees, yada, yada. That was a great thing. But then so what I did with them was I work on their Metametric system, which was pretty much like getting ultrasounds and x-rays to doctors so they can read what's going on for people from nursing homes, from jails, different contracts that they had. So I did that. But then after a while, bro, like there was no windows in the office I was working at. And there was like
gotta have that sunlight.
Damn right, you gotta have that sunlight. Can you imagine having your lunch break with no windows?
No, I can't. I'd be outside. I'd just be moseying.
Yeah, I would be too. Yeah, that's the fucking 30 minutes to hour turned into an hour and a half to 2 hours, 32 and a half hours.
You'd be looking at the time. You're like, wait a second, where did it go?
But what I realized about myself in doing that was that me personally, I'm not sure if it's because I'm Sagittarius. I'm not sure it's because I grew up playing sports. Like I just didn't want to be in the office, even though I went to school for business. And what I was like, let me try something different. So I realized, and I thought about, one of my uncles that used to come up all the time to visit us was from Boston, right? Shout out to Faye and everybody up there in Boston.
Shouts out.
So what happened was he was a firefighter in Boston, and I was like, one day I just randomly got on the computer at work, and I was like, yo, let me see what's up. Firefighter gigs, what's up?
Oh, cool.
So I found out that Montgomery County had an opening for firefighters. It was only 24 hours. You could submit the application. So I was like, yo, fuck it, let me just submit my shit.
Right.
Not thinking nothing about it. So I ended up submitting it. They called me back. And I didn't know it was a whole year-long process. They were like, be prepared for a whole year, from background checks, interviews with your family, to, your physical conditioning tests, yada, yada, yada. So I was like, okay, cool. So I knew that this was coming once I got to my interview. I just had a good feeling. So I was living at Laurel in the time, and I was studying, preparing for the physical stuff, which was easy for me, going to University of Maryland, working out, chilling, doing some crazy stuff every once in a while. And long story short, on my way to my oral interview, my car broke down.
Oh, shoot.
A half a mile away.
Oh.
Slim. I'm pushing my car into the parking lot of like a Arby's. And like people are like, what is this dude in the suit doing, pushing his car in the parking lot of Arby's? I'm like, yo, I got places to go. Like, I go into the Arby's. I was like, yo, y'all gonna tell me? They're like, nah, you're good. You can just park there. I'm like, cool. I run down the street. I go to my interview.
Oh, you made it.
Hell yeah. I prepared for this shit. Like I do a lot of preparation for like work and things of that nature. Of course. I figured out all the questions they're going to ask me. Number one, I figured talk to my uncle, like what are the things I need to say? And like, things that keep out.
Prep. Nice.
Yeah, prep. Anyway, so long story short, I fucking finished that. And then I'm like, all right, so I think I'm going to get this job, because they started calling my family. And they're like, once you go through your family background check and then you talk to your friends, you're pretty much a shoo-in because of what they're, their budget, yada, yada, yada. So, anyway, I quit my job at the office.
Oh, shoot. Call them up. You're like, yo, first off, buy some windows.
Buy some windows. Make sure your lunch break is a little different. You know what I'm saying? And after that, you're cool. You're cool. Fuck you. Fuck you. You're cool. Exactly. So, so I got into pest control for 1 year. I just want to learn some stuff. So,
for the time that you had to wait. Got you.
I was like,
that limbo.
Just do this. Yeah, that limbo.
Okay.
Got into pest control. Did that, and then after that, man, I worked for a firefighter for 11 years. And like as I was working as a firefighter doing that, if you back a little bit track in the background, I was playing music. I played in the sessions band. I played in Subject to Change band, playing guitar.
Oh, cool.
From rock, instrumental to reggae stuff. So all that stuff's in the background as I'm talking about this story.
Of course, of course.
Dating all. Well, this girl, that girl, yada, 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 you know what I'm saying? Getting breaking up with people.
That's
it's just life shit. Friends passing away, yada, yada, yada.
Sorry to hear that. We all go through a little bit of that, right?
We do. Actually, shout out to Chris Higgins and his family. Firefighter just passed away over the last weekend. 11 years, lieutenant. Great guy, worked with him a couple years.
Let's take a moment. Take a moment for him, you know? It's important, right?
It is.
Sorry for your loss, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you. It's not the first person I lost in the fire service, but definitely everybody's a unique loss and a unique individual, and my heart goes out to his wife and kids. Period. Yeah, so I did that for a while, and like now I'm in transition, and you know that's the way we met, through music. Me talking to you about, wanting to work on a collaborative EP, collaborative project. But,
yeah, Grayson and I are working on. Let me tell you, I sorry to sidetrack a little bit, but I think it's cool to let people in on kind of the background. I met Grayson through some mutual friends, and he immediately, got right into collabing. And let me tell you, that really shows a lot about someone when they, aren't just talking the talk, but, you're out here walking the walk. And he sent me a bunch of tracks, and right now him and I have we already have 6 or 7 songs that are in the making. Yeah. And it's really cool to be, music is a beautiful thing. We really can combine our energies and all of the past experiences that we've been through, and all the jobs that we've had, and the girls that we've dated, and the people that we've lost, have really kind of, let's see here, giving some backing to our passions for what we're trying to do, and
make good music.
Yeah, man, and we're just we really are trying to bring some light to the world, and I'm really excited to see what comes of this. But
Me too, brother.
Keep going with the music. I want you to get into the acting. Tell us a little bit.
Oh
about that too.
Acting stuff. Yeah, so check out Thanksgiving Roast. Shout out to Collective Media putting that on. Shout out to Trey Walker. And then, so that's on Tubi. Then we also did a sequel of that, which is also on Amazon, Tubi, streaming networks, Roku, yada, yada, yada. It's called A Christmas Story. And it's
how do you spell that?
Christmas, like a Christmas.
Okay.
But change Christmas to a mess.
Gotcha.
And, so that's a cool one as well, too. That stars Darren Brand, Mojo Brooks, Trey Channing as well, too. Big shout out to Trey.
Shouts out.
Appreciate you, man. He was in The Wire. If
Nice.
Lil Poop.
Yep.
But yeah, outside of that, man, so I do the acting on the side as well too. I do the music on the side as well too. I do bartending on the side as well too. I do spirituality on the side as well too. It's spirituality every day, but talking to other people on the side, I make a conscious effort in my walk in life with spirituality to speak and be open and listen to people about where they're at in reference to whatever system they might be working in. There's a lot of different systems when it comes to certain things spiritual, whether you want to be a Wiccan, whether you want to be a Christian, whether you want to be a Muslim, whether you want to be a Hermeticism, whether you want to, say there's you into voodoo, Yoruba, all that stuff like that. But the way I grew up, it was a correspondence that certain things translate, certain spiritual energies, certain goals, certain gods, certain gift, that you can go from culture to culture to culture to culture and say that these align. So my gift and what I feel, my perspective in dealing with the world, is to be able to relate with everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if you don't even believe in spirituality, even if you're atheist, even if you're materialism, you know what I'm saying? My thing is all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Let's vibe with that. But yeah, so transition, man. I've been doing a lot of traveling since the fire department. I just finished doing that for 11 years, and I'm working towards my personal goal is either MRI technician. I'm going to back to school for that, or a radiation therapist. So that's what I want to do, because I enjoy helping people. I come from a family of people in the medical field, so that's one of the things that I want to work for my next personal goal outside of my creative pursuits, bro.
Man, it's important, right, to have those goals and have those aspirations. And I think, sometimes life can get in the way sometimes, but I feel like as long as you have those, let's talk about some of those goals. How do you find yourself setting some of those goals for the future?
On a daily perspective, I wake up, meditate about certain things, check in with myself. Like, what's going on with me? Is my goal an egotistical goal? Is my goal a community goal? Like, where is it coming from? Trying to pinpoint that,
Yeah.
you know, from breathing exercises with meditation, just even 5 days, just being present with myself. And then what I do outside of that is I make a plan, man. Put it in my notes, or I might put it on a board, a vision board, whatever it is. And then I try to figure out what steps do I need to do to get to that goal? Who do I need to speak to that might have come before me that can maybe make the world or my path a little bit easier? And then outside of that, what do I need to do personally to make it fulfilled? Like, what do I need to wrap up in my past? Maybe it be financial stuff, like these bills over here, or maybe it's a relationship. Like, what do I need to do? So I try to put all that stuff together, and then from there, just make, you know what I'm saying, start walking. Like,
Right.
You know?
Love that. You know, I think it's something that's really important, and I think I spoke with Chris in the other episode about this, but yeah, even something as small as just that note tab in your phone, you know, that checklist in your phone to really, you know, stay connected with some of the things, because, you know, as far as your memory goes, you know, you can only remember so much and be able to accomplish so much, you know, in a day. So, you know, maybe there's a few things that you might not be able to get done during that day, but I think as long as you have that list of things, and I think something else that you mentioned was kind of taking like that moral inventory of the things from the past that you need to kind of check off. I think that's something that I struggle with, that I really do need to work on, and that is either whether it's a finances or a relationship, or even like kind of like just collectively taking some of the ideas that I've learned in the past and like how can those things help me with my goals. You know, I think that's really important. I'm
curious about you. Like, what kind of goals you got working on right now outside of the respective perspectives, which is great. You know?
Man, thanks for asking, dude. Gosh, I would say in the next year, I would like to. I'll do a 1 year and a 5 year.
Okay, that's
do
cool.
that.
Yeah, do it.
1 year would be. I want to release 2 albums.
2 albums
this year. Okay, hold me to it. All right, 2. It's happening. 2. All right, I'm working with the coach. I'm working with a mentor and a team to make this happen. But I'm going to be releasing an album in around like June, July.
Okay.
I'm going to have a release party. I'm going to be featuring some other artists.
Okay.
Let's see here. So there's that. Going to put a lot of time and attention and energy into that. So y'all will hear about that in the near future. Then we got at least like 5 or 6 other singles that are like really like punch out, you know, tracks that I feel really need that special attention by themselves.
Okay.
And then we're gonna have another album at the end of the year, because you know, once you got that momentum, man, you got to keep it. It's like Sonic's wheel, man. You got to keep that momentum going. And I think that's really important, and that hopefully that's something that we can get into a little bit later. But you know,
that snowball effect.
Yeah, man, for sure, man. That snowball effect, and making sure that you know, I'm holding myself accountable. And that's actually why I love this podcast, because me telling y'all and you, G, you know, some of these goals, it really helps me stay accountable, you know. Cool. And then I plan on releasing at least like 20 to 30 podcast episodes for the year.
That's a lot, you know? Man. That's
Dude,
working. Yo, we working, bro.
We're working. We're aiming high, man. We're aiming high.
That's what's
up. And I'm gonna have I have already planned some really interesting guests for the future. I'm not going to spill too much about it, but I have a bunch of stuff in the works for that.
I'm excited, man.
Thanks, man. Brother. And then the last but not least, I think that I need a manager. So
why do you need a manager? I'm just curious.
Man, because I need someone to help me be able to focus on the music. I've been finding myself, you know, doing so many things that, I will be honest, in these past few months while doing the podcast, I have kind of lost a little bit. I mean, I'm always writing, you know, but when it comes to actually like getting that music and putting it out, I try and, keep the podcast and the music separate, although I really do. I should be intertwining them more. I don't like to like shout things out, but at the same time, I want people to, to know about what's going on in the background.
You need somebody who's going to be your agent for you right now to help kind of like compartmentalize certain things for you. And only bring to you what you necessarily need to work on.
Yes. Let's see here. What personally, just for me, what is it about traveling that brings out that fire in you?
360 perspective on the world, brother. Getting to know other people's perspective. How do you live? You know what I mean? And when I travel, I get to learn the different cultures. Get to learn different food, right? That's a PC aspect. But also I get to see how other people deal with their present moment, man. We all want the same things.
Right.
Family, love, some goddamn money.
Right.
And honestly, just to learn about good things, bro. That's why I love traveling.
Yeah.
Outside of the scenery, which is always beautiful.
For sure.
Outside of that. But it's literally the interaction with another human being. Say, yo, we're on this planet together.
I know.
We loving together.
Isn't it cool?
You know what I'm saying? Same goals, brother.
Man, dude. Let me tell you, with my traveling, I've been fortunate enough. I'm the only child. So, I've been...
Only child syndrome over here?
Yeah, I got it. I'm so grateful, and I'm really lucky to, my parents also, I think that's really important. It's like your... aspect or version of the world is going to be like a percentage of like what your parents either have lived or have taught you, and they have always had that want and that drive and desire to see new things, and it's beautiful, man. I'm so grateful for that, and to be able to have join them in, it's cool to be able to travel the world, but like then also to like be able to travel the world with
your loved ones, with your family.
Man, Now there are times where dad wants to do one thing and mom wants to do another thing, and I want to do something. But you know what? It's brought us communication to be able to. Okay, in the beginning of the trip, we're like, okay, what are the things that you want to do? This is a day for dad. This is the day for mom, and then I get my day.
And then every day we working out our family shit.
Family healing. And no, it really actually does. Man, it helps me practice patience. And like even if it's something that like, that's the most beautiful part about it, because like even if it's something that I like don't have like a vested interest in or seeing, like knowing that like it's something that like brings my dad joy, or my mom joy. I mean, that's, dude.
Do you notice like when you travel with family or like a really close group of friends, like y'all set your next year's plans, like those goals, but you set it in a new energy?
For sure.
Feel me?
For sure, definitely. I need to do more traveling with friends. I do.
That could work out good or it could work out bad. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Wait, why you say that?
You gotta have the right combination of friends, man. I've been on trips with like 10, 12 people. I've been on trips with 4 people. More is not ever better, to be honest.
Good point.
To tell you, bro.
Good point. Yeah, and why do you think that is? Just because maybe that communication. I mean, I guess like as me, mom and dad, like we love each other and understand. Okay. But like if it were a friend maybe,
group, like you got, you got one person dating this person, and then you got other girl who might be insecure about this. Then you got your one friend that is dating this person, but at the same time doing this crazy shit with other friends. You're like, oh my god, you know what I'm saying?
Shit with you, and you're looking behind your back. You're like you're on the edge of a cliff, and you're like, oh gosh, okay, what's about to happen? Man. No, you're right, man. That's that's key. Spirituality, man. Let's get into. Let's get into some spiritual practices. Tell me a little bit about your spirituality and kind of how things have shaped with spirituality with you throughout the years.
Shit. There's a long story, and I guess you're gonna hear it right now.
Yeah, let's dive in, man. That's why we're here.
So I grew up. My grandparents, on my dad's side, I didn't really know too much except for my grandmother. I love her. She was all about Christianity, right? So I grew up with that, going to church with her, hanging out, and then also on my mom's side, her mother was a pastor and a deacon, so I grew up in that spirituality as well too. But my dad, surprisingly, was like the exact opposite. Just in his own personal walk. And what he did was he got, for whatever reason, real big into alternative spirituality when it comes to like Yoruba, Santeria, things of that nature. But what he used to do is collect all these books from like Freemasonry, Rosicrucianism, Golden Dawn, yada, yada, yada. And that's what I grew up. So I had church on Sundays. Every once in a while, grandma, yada, yada, yada. And then at night, I go downstairs and scare the fuck out of myself. Yo, yeah, sure. Like, I remember one of my first books, I'm like 8 years old, like learning how to read. It was like the Necronomicon. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Obviously, it's from, certain things. It's not really a true thing, a true path. And I also read like Golden Dawn shit. And I'm like, yo, what is all this like crazy stuff? So that's why I grew up from that. So imagine that exponed until I'm like, 17. In the world a little bit, and then I ran into a lady, Mama Joyce, love you, Silver Spring, and Howard University used to teach an alternative religion class.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
About spirituality of the Caribbean, things of that nature, French Guiana, that's in South America, yada, yada, yada. And I used to be with her all the time because she was teaching me certain things, because she's very like clairvoyant, if you believe into it or not, but she's just in tune with what was going on.
Yeah.
And I used to translate for the Howard University students for her.
Oh, cool.
About certain, like, why this ritual means this, what does it symbolize, yada, yada, yada. So that led me to, furthering my practices. And then, unfortunately, drugs as well, too.
Hey, it happens, man. It's part of the process,
Drugs opens up your mind.
Yeah.
So I went from that, man, to where I'm at now, from meditation to, mantras to just traveling the world seeking spirituality. That's what the fuck I do.
Right? So you had the intention of finding that, what's the difference between spirituality and like believing in God?
I believe that. Oh, you mean spirituality and religion?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I feel like religion and spirituality go hand in hand. What's accepted as a majority religion are just accepted practices, accepted rituals, daily prayers that everybody's accepted. And spirituality is more of an individual thing or more of a community-based thing that might be smaller than the accepted religion. And all it really is, spirituality, whether it's individual, what are your personal rituals? What do you do for yourself to get your mind right, to get your heart right, and to get your body moving? Or what does this, sect of Wiccans believe? Or what do these, Masons believe? Or what does, these... whatever around the world it might be, you know what I'm saying? So many different things. That's it.
Yeah. It's awesome because I think that we can all take a little bit from that and be able to practice it's beautiful that we can practice our own understanding of what spirituality means. And I hope for everybody listening that you're on your own spiritual path, and the fact that there is something out there for you. You might not have found it yet, but with G over here, you hear he's been through so many different walks of life. I think that's helped him understand and be able to take a little bit from each one and help him build that spiritual core.
That's good advice. That's good advice for that.
Well, hey man, you're the one spitting it, dude.
Nah, man. Like just to add on to what he just said, like, to be honest with you, if you think about us as a culture, as an entity on the planet human, you literally are the tip of the spear for your family's bloodline. I'm the tip of the spear for my family's bloodline, my generation. So I know it's a PC thing to say, or maybe it's just been quoted, but you are the answers to your ancestors' prayers.
Ooh, wait a second. Say that again?
You are the answers to your ancestors' prayers.
Yeah, love that. Love that.
And so you are the next generation that's living in a better world, whether you believe it or not, or a changed world. And so how are you going to act? You know what I mean? Because you have their blood. you have their hearts, you have what your parents talked about when you growing up, and then what they tried to instill in you. Now you supposed to take that, so you are the answers. That's what it means.
Love that, man. That's an amazing piece of advice for everybody out there. Let's dig a little bit into sidestep into a little bit of meditation. How has meditation kind of helped you? Find that core and to kind of help you build through all this stuff, because that's one thing I would love to at some point have like a meditation practice, either like on the podcast itself, or maybe even like have like a separate little section to be able to help people
respect.
figure out how to meditate.
I'm gonna say the benefits of meditate. Why you should meditate.
Why?
Yeah. Present moment. If you can extend the present moment and make it slow-mo, then you can do what you want to do in the present moment, and everybody think it's actually happening in real time. But then that gets into magic. What you're gonna do when you got the extra 1.5 seconds of presence.
Ooh, okay.
That only person might have 1 second of. In that 0.5 seconds, what you gonna do with it?
Yeah, right? And that adds up.
Yeah, meditation. So breathing exercises, that's what I started off with. Just the 4-fold breath is like in for 4, hold it for 4, let it out for 4, hold that, let out for 4. Skip breathing, that's what we talk about in firefighting as well too. So these meditation exercises work with different chakras that are aligned with different energies, whether you believe it or not, or just period, work with different parts of your mind, and boom, it adds a different clarity and a different presence in the moment. And that's why I fuck with it.
Yeah, I love that, man. Let me tell you, as far as meditation goes, I've been really trying to have that. Do you have any like morning rituals that you either, or when do you find is the best time to meditate?
I feel like you can meditate at any time. There's from a 30 seconds to a minute to 5 minutes to 10 minutes. Your meditations can be elaborate. They could be visualizations. They can be invocations, exvocation.
What is an invocation?
It's trying to bring something towards you, bring something within
Invoking.
you. Yeah. So trying to bring a principle or a spirit or an energy that you might not be accessible to you. You're trying to bring that to you. Attraction, law of manifestation. You know what I mean? The secret, yada, that stuff.
See, you're getting into something.
Yeah, that's all the same things. Correspondences. So, but anyway, whatever you want, bro. In the shower, if you washing your ass, you get in the morning, like, yo, meditate about the water. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Feel the water holding on you. Feel your presence in your body. Breathe in it. What's it feel? Oh, this is some air, some humidity. Yeah. Let me open up my lungs for the day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all that kind of shit.
Let me tell you something. This past weekend, I was lucky enough to attend something called Interfusion Festival.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to Michaela. Thanks for helping me figure out. I was able to volunteer for it. And, man, I had this outer body meditation experience that I had never had in the past. And it was me. I was crying. Like, I was crying, but it was like, it wasn't like sad boy tears. You know what I mean? It was like,
I'm happy.
Yeah, it was, but at the same time, like, I was getting stuff out, like, I feel like most of the meditation that I do, like, I'm trying to bring in, but like this meditation was like, getting these like feelings that I had, these emotions that have kind of been stuck in me for a while out. And man, dude, it was outer body, dude, and it was exactly what I needed at exactly the right time. Right. And like, it was just like, it was a real deep cry, and like, I'm not lying, like, I felt something exit my body.
That's what's up.
That needed to leave.
Okay.
And you know what it was? It was like doubt. It was, let me think about it real quick. It was doubt. It was. You
felt lighter as well too, right?
I did, man. I walked away from that with like 10 pounds off of my shoulders, man. And gosh, luckily I had some really cool people around me to like kind of just guide me through it, because like I was really kind of in the moment myself, and like I had some people kind of around me like, get it out, this is really important for you. And I feel like we don't, especially like as men, we're not told to to cry, you know, and have these particular emotions or feelings. But man, I never realized that something like that could happen to me, with me, and for me. And man, it was amazing, dude. I'll never forget it. And I hope that other people out there can find that same sort of meditation in whatever they're doing.
That's what's, man. That's well said, brother. It's like, that's a beautiful thing to be able to have something to affect you to the point where you feel lifted and also you feel open, man. That's beautiful. And yes, I agree with you. As men, like, growing up, we're supposed to express this non-emotional thing, but the fact that you had the opportunity to do that, that's dope, bro.
Man, dude, it made me so grateful, like instantly grateful. And I'm so appreciative of the opportunity to be able to have these feelings and these emotions, and to be able to...
All right, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If you can get rid of one emotion on the spectrum of emotion in the world for everybody, what would it be?
Man, if I could get rid of one emotion, I mean, I know this sounds kind of crazy, but fear.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! You know how many bank robberies would be happening right now?
I know, and that's why it's like that's such a personal thing, right?
You know how many of your girlfriend's friends that you just thought were friends would just be like, "Yo, I'm gonna take you out." Like, there was no fear, bro. That's dangerous.
You're right.
Dangerous.
It is, but I think though, if it's in the right hands, I feel like you're right. Fear does like drive. I feel like fear drives a lot of people, but it should be love, though. That should be.
I respect that.
You know, think about if we got rid of fear, then what would we put in place of that?
Okay.
What about you though?
Okay.
Wait. Let's go to you.
All right,
if you
about
could
me?
get rid of. Or not even get rid of one emotion. What's one emotion that you are super grateful for that you couldn't do without?
But couldn't do it without. Okay. Love.
Yeah.
This full circle. I feel like love and fear are one and the same, because to love somebody is you have to have a little bit of fear about their decisions. You gotta have a trust and confidence about you're hoping that they're gonna make certain things. But to love, you know, you could have love of God, fear of God. Love another person, fear of person, you know, it's the same edge. But what I could deal with, without one emotion, I think that the world can deal without is jealousy.
Oh, yeah, that's so important. Let's sit with that for a second.
Straight up jealousy.
When's the last time you felt jealous?
The last time I felt jealous, it's a long time, bro. I probably can't even really pinpoint it on it, to be honest with you, because like I try to like approach things with such a good spirit, like so positive when it comes to certain things. But let me reflect for a second. Give me 1 second so I'll give you a real answer.
Yeah. Think about that. While you're thinking.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
I had one family member go to the league, like the NFL. And I had a cousin go to the league, NFL. And I wasn't jealous about their success because I was fucking happy. I was jealous about their determination to stick in with something that I didn't stick in with as well. Does that make sense?
Yo, for sure.
You happy as hell for your success, but I was jealous. I was like, yo, it's his determination. I wish I had it in those times. Does that make sense?
For sure.
Yeah.
You know, I was talking with my vocal coach this morning, actually, about emotions, and something that we speak about is the fact that emotions don't have any actual like backing, you know. Most of the emotions that we deal with are just like triggered by particular things, and like something that we want to separate is that, you know, your emotions are not your thoughts.
Hell no, they're not.
You know?
Hell no.
I think as an artist, when I'm making music, this is a challenge that I've been trying to navigate recently. But as an artist, I feel like the best music does invoke particular emotions in people. You know, so like say I'm writing a song about let's go to jealousy. You know, say I'm writing a song about me not even just like being jealous about something, but like me kind of like having like FOMO, you know, or something like that. But like as I'm writing those words on the piece of paper, like I do have to go through that emotion, you know, in order to get it out. And as an artist, like I put myself through a lot of emotions when I'm songwriting. And
do you feel like that's why like the younger kids only express the let me get money, let me get rich, let me blah blah? They don't ever really express emotion by old girl messed me up, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Right.
Or I lost out on this day.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? You feel like that coincides with it?
It is, for sure. And it makes me think about all of the emotions that are out there, you know, and maybe some of the ones that we haven't experienced recently that, you know, maybe drive us and shouldn't. So I hope that everybody listening can kind of think about some of the things that we talked about and some of the emotions that you're going through, and you know, figure out a way to you know, to get through them. And you know what? Actually, this is a perfect time to plug the Respecting Perspective hotline. Okay, did I tell you about this?
No, I didn't know about this.
So we got a hotline, okay, that you can call, and you know, we'll put you on the show here. But if you could give us a call, it's 443-292-2677. And yeah, just maybe kind of talk about some of the stuff that G and I have been talking about today, and kind of, you know, get your voice and some of the feelings that you have, you know, out there on there, and that way we can you know, we can all learn from each other.
Exactly. Express your emotions, and we're going to respect your perspective. That's what's up.
Yo, express your emotions. That way we can respect that perspective. Man, I love that, dude. That's perfect, dude.
Oh, love.
Man, tell me, let's dig a little bit into hermetics. What is hermetics? Because you actually kind of taught me when we were first started making music about what hermetics is, and I think this is a good little tie-in here. Give us the not like the actual definition of hermetics, but like to you, what is hermetics, and how can people?
So people can relate to it. You ever just heard the saying "as above, so below"? That comes from Hermeticism. Hermes Trismegistus, which is something that was as a deity that they believe lived way back before Egypt, yada, 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 like 1,000 years. I'm not a historian, so it's not going to be perfect.
You sound like it.
No, fuck that. I just have a decent memory for the most part. But yeah, so it comes from those principles that he print out, or that they believe that he print out and spoke about. And that's what Hermetics is. It's just a way of operating within the world, man. Like it just takes... So fast forward to like 1500s, fast forward to what's going on. It's a set of principles, how you operate in the world, and then also how you believe about certain things, whether they're animistic, means everything have a spirit, or is it psychology, where you're giving certain values and principles of things that may not necessarily have a spirit, but how you work with it. Work with chakras, yada yada yada. It's so much stuff, bro.
Right?
It's so much
we
stuff.
We could sit here all day, honestly. You dropped the word animistic.
Yeah, animism.
Animism.
Yeah.
What is an animist?
I would feel like an animist is a person that believes that everything has a spirit associated with it, and everything has a vibration, and that a vibration affects you as a person, but also within the universe it has a place.
Even non-living things?
Even non-living things, brother. Nice. For a little bit, like, let's just like look at this piece of wood right here. Whether somebody built it or not, there was energy that's placed into it because it's sitting right here and vibrating in front of you. So how does that affect you? How does it affect the environment? i.e. Feng Shui is built off of that. Inanimate objects that you place in certain places that have a vibrational frequency that affects your vibration.
Your output. Yeah, for sure. I love that. Let's see here. There was something though that you were talking about principles. Give me some. What are some principles that you live by?
Some principles I live.
Putting you on the spot with that.
Have a smile on. Give a smile to everybody that hopefully you walk by or you have a quick moment with, and just honestly ask somebody about their day, but actually want to listen about it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's so important. I think man, let's stress that the fact that you want to, family and friends that are around you, you want to ask them how their day is going, because I mean, wouldn't you want to be asked that same thing? Even if it isn't going perfect, even it's not going to be going perfect, even if it is a shitty day, like you still kind of want to be able to voice that, and get that out. That way you can teach other people, like, I went through this earlier today. I learned this lesson. I feel like that's a great way for us to share lessons and to be able to, learn from each other.
Respect.
Right?
So I think, like, instead of principles, I would word it like maybe virtues that I live by.
Ooh, okay.
So that smiling, walking about person is like, try to be happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I want to actually have a conversation, ask somebody about their day, it just means like try to like engage with the world. It's a virtue, like engage, but be happy while you're engaging, and then just listen. So be happy while you're receiving, because it's just a moment. So more virtues. I want to say like principles. Like I think sometimes we get lost in like wordplay for certain things.
For sure.
And I don't think everybody has the same definitions, and that's is a problem of communication. What you think, man?
Yeah, no,
Tell
you're
me
so
about
right.
your principles.
Gosh, my principles, man. Gosh, I feel like I try to lead with light.
Okay.
I try to honesty. Try and be as honest as possible. I think something that is a huge challenge with the world that we live in is not only being honest with the people around you, but being honest with yourself.
Respect.
And sometimes you do have to take that deep look in the mirror and ask yourself, are you doing the right thing? I think it has a lot to do with actually, and it seems very simple, but
what
right and wrong.
What if you look in the mirror and say, I'm doing the right thing, but what if your right thing is not what everybody else thinks is right? There's some people that look in the mirror, they'll be like, yo, I'm doing the right thing, I'm doing the best I can, yada yada, but everybody else in the world is like, oh, what the fuck is this person doing?
I think if it really has to do with like morals,
okay,
right? I feel like it has to do with, do you feel like you are adding to the world? You are bringing positivity to the world. I think that's really important. Now, right and wrong, like think about like a defense, like a lawyer who's defending like a murderer.
Okay.
Something like that. I think that's like a more extreme case, but like, right, like that maybe that person feels like they're doing the right thing for that.
That's the dilemma I'm trying to talk about.
Right.
Because what happens, because there's the defendant's lawyer that thinks he's doing the right thing for the world, right? And then you have the plaintiff's lawyer or the state's lawyer, and they think they're doing the right thing.
Right.
Like, how do we get past that dichotomy that I look in the mirror and think, I'm bringing this to the world, and it's going to be a positive thing. And this other person is saying the exact opposite, but they think it's a positive thing. Right. How do we work on that?
Man, that's a great question. That's something to really ponder. I think it has to do with the communication itself. Like, asking other people, hey, do you think that this is a good cause? And just kind of a numbers game. Like, okay, if more of those people think or say, although, who knows? Because what if the 10 people that you ask are all people, on this side of the spectrum?
That's the whole thing.
You know?
You know what? Yeah.
I think though, as long as you're trying, as long as you are, really, I think it has to do with like your heart.
Okay.
Your heart. Like, does it feel good? Does it feel, I know right and wrong is kind of hard.
Okay, so like liberal and Republican, like each side feels right. Each side feels, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you feel about that?
Man, I feel like is it for the better? Is it for the good of society? Not just me, right? Like it can be good or bad for you, but like, is it good for the future of humans?
Okay. Yeah,
like humans themselves. And I think that can be a dilemma. That can be a tricky thing. Although I do feel like like having a passion and keeping your family close and making sure that those people that you really are able to have these deep conversations with and ask them. I think you constantly do need to be questioning it, though. Like every action that you take is going to require another form of that question.
That's why you gotta have that Sith. That Sith,
you do.
You gotta have a Sith. In my head, in the reality I live in, like whether you talk about a Grim Reaper, whether you talk about fucking, the ancient Egyptians, why they had the certain Siths or
what is a Sith?
So basically, it's a big sword that's like this, and then they use it to cut the wheat. Like you see the Egyptian kings have.
Yeah, the Grim Reaper.
Yeah. Grim Reaper has it as well too. But what is the Sith? The Sith ain't nothing but a question mark. You're questioning what's going on in this present moment. You feel me? You're questioning what is happening inside, past what you know, which that's all it is. Because a question, you ever had a question, somebody asked you a question at the wrong time, and you be like, fuck, that just fucked my whole energy up.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, for sure.
Or like it'll mess up a whole group situation. Somebody asked the wrong question, right? But then sometimes you ask the right question, spiritually, it takes you different places.
Right.
The Sith, that's why you gotta have it.
Man, I
boy.
love that, man. And that's the coolest part about what we're doing here is being able to ask questions. And actually, I really respect you for, kind of taking the time to ask me some of these questions and listening to what I have to say. Back to the whole listening portion of this, do you feel like people listen enough? Do you feel like the people that are around you, how do you know when someone's actually listening to you?
How do you know? I guess, they're paying attention to your questions. They're responding, and they're actually responding from a place of relax. They're not trying to jump the gun and respond.
Yeah.
They're just trying to cut you off. You know what I mean? That's how I figure out if somebody's listening. If they don't cut you off, for the most part, I feel like they're listening. Now, whether they're interested or not, that's a whole different thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like someone who's engaged, eye contact, how they're moving, are they changing with your story? Are you actually connecting? Because when you connect with folks, like, and you're in a conversation, people are going to change their body movement, and you can see, okay, maybe they didn't agree with what you're saying, but you're listening. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
That's it.
Yeah, love that. Man, I feel like we should all be doing a little more listening these days,
I be talking sometimes too much. That's just me. That's my fault.
Well, you know what? I'm sure that you, even with talking too much, that just means that there can be more opportunities for listeners out there.
Yeah, maybe. Or sometimes there's no shut up.
Who's the best? Let me ask you this: in your life, who do you feel like is the best listener?
Ooh, the best listener in my life is my brother Brandon.
Shouts out to Brandon for being a great listener.
Brandon, shouts out to you, man. I love you. That's my brother. He was born 14 months after me. Like, you're gonna be best man at my wedding whenever it happens. But to listen without judgment, but then still give advice from a no judgment place, it's like, bro, that's priceless.
It is. You make sure that he sees this, because he'll be super grateful to hear that, I'm sure. Gosh, man, we've gotten into to so many things here. Let's see here. Let's talk about purpose. Let's talk about why you think you're here. What do you think? Just personally, what do you think your purpose is here on Earth?
I have no clue. I don't think anybody really knows.
Right?
I feel like that's the existential questions we can figure out or try to think about and meditate for 30 years on a fucking mountaintop about. But in the end, we still won't know.
Right?
The purpose is to be happy, connect with other people, try to be a good person, but have some fun, and just realize that, like, Slim, live life the way you want to live it. Fuck what they're telling you. This is how you gotta live it with these rules, these laws. Like, nah, motherfucker, you was born out of a vagina. They were born out of a vagina. What makes that vagina more powerful? Like, come on, like,
right?
Live the way you want to live.
Man, that's such a great thought, right? Gosh, man. Although when it comes to if you were to just give it though a purpose, and to kind of give yourself a little bit more of a meaning to the conversation itself, do Do you feel like you
I think my purpose right now is to, in my current walk where I'm at, is to create music that allows other people around the world to learn, whether that's spiritually, and just to have an outlet from whatever they might be going through right now.
Man,
that's it, bro. It's
love
all
that,
just like
dude.
you, bro. The way,
yeah,
like, just music. That's what it is.
Man, I was gonna say the same thing, man. You literally took the words out of my mouth, and I'm so grateful. I could have never thought, 20 years ago when I first started writing music, that I would have been able to find my purpose through writing. And man, let me tell you, when you find it, like that, man, that connection is it really creates a sense of being, and it really helps you understand. And I think once you do find that purpose, and it's going to take you, you might never find it, but I think as long as you're guiding people and you're guiding yourself in the right direction, that that's one of the most important things is finding your purpose in life. And once you do, like, it, like, it's right. Like, I know for a fact, like, that's the challenge that I'm having right now, is because like, I do HVAC, okay? I fix people's heaters and air conditioners. And while I do, love doing that for people and I get satisfaction, there's part of me that's like, I should be in the studio right now. I should be, spreading, positivity and light through my music. But at the same time, the daily job that I have helps me create fuel for the fire of my passion.
That's what's up.
And to be able to kind of have that yin and yang, in between those two things is really beautiful. And I'm super grateful to have been able to, figure, or at least think I figured at least a part of this
yourself.
out. Yeah, myself, man. It's great, dude. I love it, and I'm excited to see what you and I, what type of purpose we can bring to other people.
So I got a question I got to ask you.
Yeah, man.
It's Mac Miller. I've always noticed you got the Mac Miller gear on. You speak about him every once in a while. I have yet to have a moment to ask you why Mac Miller is important for you. Like, your whatever it is.
Man, thanks for asking that question. Gosh, I might take a few minutes for this, but I think it's worth it.
Okay.
When I was younger, artists, I always looked up to musicians. They were my role models. And to be able to navigate so many different terrains of types of music, it really showed Mac's versatility in trying to figure out himself. Like, through his music, I'm able to see him trying to navigate life and going through the same problems, drug use, trials and tribulations, and it really helped me relate. I think it has a lot to do with relatability, and when Mac passed, it really brought this sense of, I felt like I lost a best friend. Yeah. And I'm going to give you a little story. I'm not sure if you know this. I know some of the listeners have heard it, but a few years before he passed, I wanted to let him know how important he was to myself and the community around us, because really he has influenced and still does influence a lot of people with his music. Okay. And I thought about, okay, you know what, how can I do this? And I wrote him a song.
Oh, that's dope.
And I bought a VIP ticket.
Okay.
And when it was my turn in line to get that picture and that autograph, I didn't ask for those things. I sang him the song.
That's dope.
And I was able to really like make this connection with something that felt so kind of like the sun, that you can't touch but brings so much light and joy to your life. And I was able to touch the sun that day. And I was able to develop a connection with him, and later on, after open up for him,
you opened up for her?
Yeah, and was able to open up for him a year after. And man, to be able to like make that connection, like he gave me the time, and he made himself available, and he was just there and present for that moment. And for me to be able to have that moment itself was just extremely special. I've been able to do it maybe with like 1, 2, or 3 other artists since then.
Oh, you writing songs for everybody?
You know what, man? I'm trying to make connections
Yes,
with everybody,
I
And when Mac passed, I really did see it. At first I was really sad, obviously, but then like it made me realize like I was super grateful to be able to have taken advantage of an opportunity, when he was here. And when I lost my favorite artist, I had to become my own after that. And it gave me the strength to reach new heights, and it gave me the optimism to realize that no matter where you are in life, no matter what position you're in, no matter what walk you're going on, that the opportunities out there, they're out there, and that it's beautiful that we can all make these connections with each other, like this conversation we're having right now, and it helps me go through some of the things that I haven't thought about in a while that really do drive me down deep inside. And I had to really figure out how I wanted to what I wanted that crystal ball to look like. And it's only up to me, man.
Thank you for sharing, brother.
Yeah, thanks for asking, man. That's really gosh,
way you
man.
Worded that is that I no longer had my favorite artist, so I had to become my own artist.
Yeah, man.
That hit me.
Dude, and now it's just really I make music for myself, and I know that might sound selfish in a way, but really, like, I make music to get me. My music are just messages to my future self.
I was going to say there's nothing wrong with being selfish every once in a while.
Right? Think about the words self-centered. What does self-centered mean to you?
Self-centered means to me it means things are revolving around me right now. That's it. I'm self-centered right now at the moment. May not be forever. Just don't be self-centered your whole life.
Right? Although, think about it. Like, what if it's not wrong to be centered at yourself. You know what I mean? Like that with words, but
what comes first with the words? Centered or self?
Exactly.
So we could be centered, but how are we centered? Are we globally centered? Are we self-centered, community-centered? Boom, boom, boom. Like even that I'm self-centered means myself comes first, then my centering. So I said it's cool to do that every once in a while. Be self-centered, self-serving. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff. But every once in a while you have to go out and be serving for other people.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just be centered now. Take the self out of the fucking sentence. And just be centered. But now what are you centered on?
Yeah. Love that, man. Love that. Gosh, that's
all right. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
When you listen, what are your pet peeves about other people when they're talking? Like what kind of talkers don't you like?
Let's see here. Someone who is like, it's always I. You know, it's always about, and it has to do with the self-centered thing too. It's like, I did this or I did that. And they're always trying to like one up you. You know, there's conversations and you have those friends who are like, always trying to one up you. You know, they always got a better story. They've always been to a better place. So yeah, I would say that is the biggest pet peeve. And then also the opposite of that, I love people who teach me new words. Like if they use a word that I've never heard before, man, that really helps me open up and understand, different.
I'll be getting excited about new words. When somebody uses a new word, I'll be like, yo, what does that mean? All right, I'll be looking for excuses to use it, you know what I mean?
For
like,
sure,
shit.
for sure. Wait, you hear that? What's that noise?
Is that the phone?
This is that OG John.
Hey.
Okay. Wait, who is this? Oh, I got OG here. Okay. Wait a second. Yeah, you know what? Actually, I got somebody here with me, right, like literally sitting next to me that wants to give you some. You know what? I'm not sure what he wants to give you, but
Hey.
I'm gonna hand you over here.
Let me get the phone. Hey, Jay, is that you? Oh man, this is OG. Nah, you don't know me just yet. You're a little different. I'm trying to tell you right now. Look. Just listen to what I say. Yo, hey, chill. Put the video game down for a second, bro. You're good. I gotta tell you something. Look, number one, express your emotions. Don't get it all bottled up and keep it all bottled up. It's okay. As being a man, you can express emotions, brother. You can have a whole range of things. I already know why you don't, because you've been through a lot of stuff, so you gotta like put on that perspective of, oh. But yo, express yourself, man. Be a little soft at times. Get a pet bunny or something. All right. Hey, number two, bro. Leave the females alone. Period. Hey, learn about them. Have fun, have good conversation, but just leave them alone on their relationship. Don't put too much into it right now, man. You need to go out there and study the world quicker. Use that youth and them legs. Go find a book somewhere in another continent. You feel me? Outside of that, bro, look, I know you're going to do what you want to do and can't nobody tell you nothing, so hopefully you're still listening. Money is very important. Well, yeah, save a little bit. $5, $10. Like, just save something, motherfucker. Outside of that, man, look, man, go about your day and just know that what you're going through is only temporary, period. And then, bro, just keep loving the way you love. Keep seeing things positive as you see positive. And nobody is going to really understand you for your whole life. But what you want them to understand is what you exude. So just be happy. Be positive, bro. That's it.
Nice. And tell him you love him.
Oh, I love you too, man. Hey, I love you. I know what you about to do, but I still love you.
Hey, man, you end up being an amazing person, and you should be really proud of the man that you become.
Oh, thanks, bro.
All right, love you, dog.
Oh, man,
Get back to that video game.
Thank you.
Nice, man. That's a fun one, ain't it?
Yeah, that's fun, bro. That's cool.
Good. Everybody out there, you should be having a conversation with your old self at all times. You know what I mean? Even if it's something as cheesy as picking up a phone to have to do it, talk to yourself, even if it doesn't apply to what you're doing right now, it's important to be able to bring those thoughts to the forefront.
Well said, brother. Well said.
All right, so we're about to do a little rapid fire here, okay?
Rapid fire.
All right, you didn't get to see any of these, but
Okay.
all right, and again, it's rapid fire, so you got to kind of like as quick as possible.
As quick as possible.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Here we go. What's your favorite time of day and why?
Morning time, because I get to sleep through it.
If someone paid you to write a book, what would it be about?
The adventures of a firefighter who didn't give a fuck.
Oh, love that. Love that. What was the last book you read?
Ooh. Zen Bones. Don't quote it on me, but basically it's about a lot of Zen teachings, and what they do is certain words, certain phrases that Zen's flesh and Zen bones. Just a little
Love
quotes
it.
here and there. That's it.
There we go.
All right, cool.
Go cop it. All right. Would you change your name if you could?
Yes.
And what would it be? Two.
Sir Bradley Wilkins III.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, you had that prepared.
Get all my reservations on time.
Ooh. What's the last movie that made you cry?
Ooh, there's only one movie that's ever made me cry my whole life, and that was Deep Impact.
Oh, shit.
That's a throwback.
Throwback, baby. All right, what's the funniest movie you've ever seen?
Oh, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby, Talladega Nights, bro.
Shake and bake, baby.
Hell yeah.
Explain the last time you faked being sick to get out of doing something.
Oh, work probably. It didn't work out too well. I actually went to a vacation, went to Miami with my brothers and my family, and I fucking faked it. I told them, like, look, I'm sick, blah, blah, blah. But then I posted it on Facebook. Dumb.
Did it? We've all done it. We've all done it. All right, what item would you grab first if your house was on fire?
Ooh. That's a tough one, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I mean, I like shoes, so I'd grab shoes if I was being vain at the moment. But then if you caught me like on a Wednesday, I'd probably grab like, my spiritual cards, my crystals and tarot decks that I made myself. But then if you caught me on a Friday, I'd probably just grab all my alcohol and call it a day. Like,
call it a day, baby. All right, what's the best thing about being your age? I don't have any kids. That's the best thing right now for myself personally. I got finances, and I'm more in touch with who I am as a person, so I'm more confident in my daily walk and also interacting with other people, but not having to take on their shit. I can tell. Love that. All right, who is someone you know you can talk to about anything?
Andrew AWOL.
Yeah. Love you, dog. Love you, man. You're the best, dude.
Right.
Have you ever gotten lost? Where were you and what happened?
I got lost in Thailand. My GPS stopped working because my self-service started working, but I was about 45 minutes outside of the city on a motorcycle. So I had to slowly ask people on my way back, yo, I'm trying to get to blah, 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 and they were like, go that. And then I'd like go for like 2-3 miles, and I'm going to ask a little more. Okay, what road I got to take next?
Nice. You found your way. You made it here.
Yeah.
Are you afraid of the dark? Be honest.
Hell no, I love it.
Yes. Name a song that always gets you pumped up.
Ooh. Wale, Rick Ross, Dream, yeah. It's easy to dream the dream, but it's hard to live it.
Oh, love that. All right, if you are in a bad mood, would you rather be left alone or have someone try and cheer you up?
Both.
Love that. What's your favorite movie line?
Favorite movie
That's
line.
putting you on the spot.
That is on the spot. Hold on, I gotta think about it.
Rapid fire. You can pass if you
Say
want.
hello to my little friend.
Oh, there you go. Say hello. All right, if you could travel to space, would you go and where? Where would it be?
No, I'm not traveling anytime soon to space.
No, ain't going. Call Elon, tell him.
Call you. I need the 5th generation. I didn't get blown up on my way out there. Like, we're good.
All right, name a personal possession that you'd never sell no matter how much money you were offered.
Ooh. My spirit.
Oh, love that. Okay, you find a magic lamp. What's your first wish?
Ooh, first wish. To have everything I want, like that.
Oh, there you go. I got one more for you.
Okay,
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Coconut or pineapple?
Pineapple all day, baby.
All
People
day.
Decide. Yeah, my man.
Love that, man. Well, hey, you know what, dude? Thank you so much for being here and for asking me those questions and for opening up and being honest and getting some of these emotions out. And I really found this conversation extremely productive. And let me ask you, if you could tell the listeners, one last thing, either about yourself or like a point of inspiration to leave them with, what would it be?
First of all, thank you very much for having me on the show. I appreciate you. Thank you for respecting my perspective. And honestly, thank you for asking the questions. And thank you for listening. My inspiration would just be to everybody, look, I know you're going through whatever it is that you're going through, but remember it's only temporary, just like waves in the water, just like a plant growing, just like anything that you've ever experienced in your life. So no matter what it feels like in this moment, just know it's gonna be okay. Like, you got the perspectives hotline, you got other hotlines, like, you got friends, and if you don't, reach out and the universe will catch you. That's number one. But outside of that, man, go make your money, have your dreams, you know what I'm saying? Have the body work out, you know what I'm saying? But listen. But listen with an open heart and listen with being happy. And no matter what it is, they could have the exact opposite perspective of you. Just be happy. You're alive. They're alive. We're talking. What up?
We're here.
Hell
Man,
bro.
thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate you being here, and I'm super excited to see what the future brings for us and for the world itself. Thank you, everybody, for listening to another episode of the Respecting Perspectives podcast.
Yeah.
And we'll see y'all
Catch y'all later.
later.
Thank you, brother. All right, man.
Amazing.
That was fun, bro.